Okay, welcome back to the Dalton Academy online. Okay, so this is episode 4. Okay, being started early 11 maths, series 10, trigonometry, episode 4, paper 2 questions, and we're doing a cosine rule. Okay, now the cosine rule is relative to this. You've only got measurements. Okay, you don't have angles. So it's if you want to find costs, or it's really to find these. Okay, but you can't find a squared. Okay, but you have to know how to manipulate the formula. Okay, now in this case here, this demo here, we're given a triangle. Now the cosine rule is used when 1, to find an angle given 3 sides, to find angle given 3 sides. Okay, so you got 3 sides there, so you say, look at, oh, I can use the cosine rule, and the cosine rule is on page 9 along with the sine rule. Okay, there they are there, and your table here of pi. And 2 is to find the third side. Okay, to find the third side given included, given 2 sides and included angle. Okay, included angle, that means there, that means there. Okay, so if you didn't have 4, you go and you were given the angle here 60, say, you could solve that side. Okay, right, so that's what that means. Now let's have a look at this now, and let's label them first. So this is B, that's C, and that's A. Okay, so we got 5, 6 and 4, right? Now we were looking for, the question says find cos B, find the angle B, find this one here. Okay, find that angle there. So now I have to change everything around, right? So this is represented as A squared, well then I represent as B squared is equal to, and we just change them around, A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cos B. Okay, that's how you do it. 2AC cos B. Now I'm looking for cos B, so I'm bringing everything across. So I'm going to make cos on the left hand side. Minus 2AC times cos B is equal to B squared minus A squared minus C squared. Okay, you bring them across. Cos B is equal to all that, B squared minus A squared minus C squared all over minus 2AC, not plus 2AC, you're changing its function. Multiplication becomes division. Now you've isolated cos B on its own, okay? And you just put in your values, so cos B is equal to, put in your values, where we go, B squared A, so B squared is 5 squared minus 6 squared minus 4 squared all over minus 2 times A times C, 6 times 4, okay? And that all works out to be equal to 0.5625. Cos B is equal to that. Now you have to invert it and use the formula again, invert it, not the formula, the calculator, invert cos, and then you put in your value 0.5625 equals, that's got 55.77 degrees. Okay, now they haven't asked you to put it into minutes, but if you want to put it into minutes, you multiply the 0.77 minus 55 is equal to, and then multiply it by 60 to get the minutes, and you got 46 minutes. Okay, so that's the same as 55 degrees and 46 minutes. Okay, change from decimal to time, decimal to angle. Okay, right, now I hope that's good enough for you, and I'm going to go on now and do another question. So that's pretty intensive. It's pretty, it's just practice really, and identifying which formula to use, and you can only do that by practice and knowing which one to use by practicing as usual. Now this is a 2011 sample paper, and it's quite involved. Okay, so let's have a look at it. Let's draw it out here. So I got 2 lines here. Alright, now to go into a big explanation that this is, I'm going to read it out now in a second. but you've got a, so this goes on up, and right, and I just put an A, F, and we've got C, and then B, and we've got D. Where's D? D and E. D and E. Okay, now as you can see, well, I'll read out the question for you and then we'll get a hang of it. So the question reads, this is a sample paper, what question is a sample paper, and it's question 8, right? And I'm going to read it out. A stand is being used to prop up a portable solar panel. So this is a stand. It consists of a support that is hinged, and labels, this is a support that is hinged to the panel near the top, and an adjustable strap. This is the strap, so it changes your angle. It just is strap joining the panel support near the bottom, to the support near the bottom. So this is a strap. The dimensions are AB is equal to 30. AB is equal to 30. Okay, so from A to B is equal to 30, and from A to D and C to B is 5. So this is 5, and this is 5, and this whole thing here is 30. Therefore, from there to there it is 20. Okay, that's 20. So you got AD is 5, and CB is 5, and the whole one is 30. So that's 5 and 5 from 30 gives you 20. Okay, now CF is 22. CF is 22, whereas EF is 4. Okay, so that's 22, so this is going to be 18. Okay, 4 from 22. EF, CF, okay, that CF is 22, and then it says that EF is 4, so therefore 4 from 22 leaves 18. The same principles here, okay? Now, and then I'm moving along here, and it says I have to now start solving it, okay? So I've looked at that now there, and I'm just looking at it. I'm worried about this one, so it says A to B is 30, A to B is 30, okay, and right, CB and AD is 5. AD and CB is 5, so that's 20. Now, what do I do next? Now, I'm taking out, it says by adjusting the length of the strap, the angle between the panel and the ground can be changed. The dimensions are as follows. We want to find out how long the strap has to be in order to make the angle alpha. This is the angle alpha, this angle here, alpha, between the panel and the ground equal to 60 degrees. So I have to make this equal to 60 degrees. So if I make this 60 degrees, I can start changing things around, okay? Now I hope that comes is some sort of makes sense to you. Now if I bring this out again, so I know this is 60 and I know this is 20 is 18. I'm going to take the smaller triangle here, you see that there? Okay, I'm going to take the large one here. Actually, I'm going to take the large one because I'm going to add another 4 onto it, and that makes it 22. And I'm going to take from 20 to A, and that's going to be 25. Okay, so you see what I'm getting at here, and the angle is 60, and I'll make that B, and I'll make that A, and I'm going to make that C. Alright, and I'm going to use the sine formula here. I'm going to use sine B over B is equal to sine A over A. Okay, and you understand why I did this, because it's the only one that fits in. Okay, so I changed it around, so it becomes sine of B all over 25 is equal to sine of 60, which is what we were making it, all over 22. Okay, and I get out an answer. So sine B is equal to, I manipulate the formula. Okay, I hope you can see this. I'm going to make it in black. I think sine B is equal to 25 times sine of 60 all over 22. I get sine of 60 and then I divide it in, and I found out that sine of B is equal to 0.9841. I inverse it, so I change the sign, I inverse it on my calculator, and I find out on my calculator that the inverse, which is sine minus 1 of the angle B, which I don't know, I'm going to put it into my calculator, and I found out that it's equal to 9.77 degrees, okay, is equal to 0.9. So you found out by using the formula, by using the calculator, inverted, get the sine of 0.9841 and it gives you this one. Okay, 79.77 degrees and it's in decimal. So that's the angle of, so that's the sine angle. Okay, so that's this angle here, 79, and see what I'm doing is I'm filling in all my values that I possibly can to complete this puzzle. Okay, now let's sort that out. So I've completed this puzzle and I'm filling in gaps, and I know that C, what is C equal to? Well, C, I know all angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, so it's going to be minus 60 plus 79.77. Okay, now I can change this to degrees. I'm going to multiply by 0.77 by 60 to change it to minutes, and it's 46 minutes. Okay, now I need to do this because I'm taking away from 180, 46 minutes, 79 degrees. So 180 and then I minus, and we'll have a look and see what, well, we'll add them on the calculator. So it's got, well, we have to, so it's 60 plus 79, 60 plus 79, 139 and 46 minutes. Okay, minus 180, so 139.7. I can go back to my decimal and use my decimal, or I can just take them away. 180, 139, 46. Now you know you can do this in the calculator in the decimal and then convert it into decimal, find out, but this is easy enough. Okay, so I've got a 10 here, so that's 4, pay back to 1. You got 5 from 60, we'll use 1, pay back the minute, and it becomes 10 from that 0, pay back to 1, 4, 4. Okay, so it's 40 degrees and 14 minutes. Okay, so 40 degrees and 14 minutes. And I put in my values again. Okay. Right then, and we're moving along here, and it says the next part. So I put in my values, and I've got out my values, and I'm now starting to sort this out. I'm now nearly 60% through this question, and I'm motoring along here now. So this is the next part. So we use that formula. Okay, so we 40. Wait. Okay, and the next part is we use the cosine formula. Do you remember the cosine formula? Because we want to find out, we have two sides and an included angle. Okay, so we have two sides and an included angle. Right, so we make it out again. And we're bringing this whole thing down here again. Okay, and we've got 40.23 degrees. Okay, so I'll put it back into decimal. I don't need to, but I've just done it. Okay, so 18, and I'm looking for the length of the strap. Okay, so I found my angle from previous. Okay, and I have an included angle, and automatically I'm going for cosine formula. Okay, and the cosine formula says that a squared is equal to, so I label them, so this is A, and either one of those can be B, and this can be C. Okay, so a squared is equal to b squared, which is 18 squared, plus 20 squared, minus 2bc, 2 times 18 by 20, okay, getting a bit stuck here for space, times the cos of 40.23. Okay, now you see what I'm doing here, so I'm getting A here. Okay, I'm going to rub this out, but you got what I got here. I got all my values here. I made my little triangle out of it. I had my included angle here, which I found 40.14 degrees, 40.23 degrees. Okay, I hope that doesn't confuse you, those decimals. And I'm using the cosine formula, and I'm putting in my values. I got 2 times 18 times 20 times cos of the angle 40.23 degrees. Okay, so really don't change it into minutes unless they ask you for it, but it's just for just so as you know. Okay, so I bring this across. That all works out as let's have a look at this. So it becomes cos of 40.23 is equal to 0.763. Okay, and I multiply this out because this is 324, so you can look at it. 324 plus 400 minus 720 times 0.763. Calculators. Cos 40.23 is equal to that. Cos 40.23 is equal to 0.763. Okay, and then I just multiply it out and I get whatever value. I get a square root of 174.32, and A is equal to square root of 13.2 centimeters to the nearest decimal. Okay, to one decimal place. And that's the answer. Okay, so now you understand what I'm doing. I'm going to fill in, when I get a question, I'm going to fill in as much as I can from the question. You know, draw it out. Remove all this, all the crap that you don't think is going to be relevant, okay, and then try and make triangles out of them, which we did. And then we added information. We're adding little pieces. This is what maths is all about. Adding little pieces, jumping onto an island and adding other pieces. This is what the whole thing about maths is, okay. So the questions. Right, don't forget the questions. And here we have the questions. And they're straightforward. It says find the length of y. Okay, 72 degrees, 7, 11 centimeters, 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters, 89. Find y. 110 degrees, 12, 9. Okay, no units mentioned. And now, question 19. If sine A is equal to 4 over 5 and cos B is equal to 5 over 13, these are ratios. Okay, so go and find the angle. Find in the form of h over k the value of sine A plus B. Now these are compound angles. Compound angles A plus B. Where are they? Okay, there they are. Now they're on page 9, and you can see them there just underneath this triangle here. You've got cos A plus B, and then they've done them into this kind of compound result. Okay, so you might be able to find out something. First of all, you find your angles. Okay. And you can draw the triangle as well, you know. Alright, so best of luck with those questions. Remember, if you're having any problems, after this is the last video, there'll be going to be plus videos after this, but you have to go on the website, which is DublinAcademyOnline.com. So it's DublinAcademyOnline.com. Online.com. Okay, so it's all the W's. And I'm also at my email address, or my Gmail is dublinacademy@gmail.com. Okay, so if you want to you go to the website. The website will be up, or should be up. I don't know when you're going to be looking at this, so it's kind of, I'm starting now, so maybe in the next couple of weeks it will be up. But if you have a problem, you get me on gmail.com, you can send me a note, and I'll be able to answer any questions you've come up with. Okay? Or try and help you in some way. Right, do those questions. God bless.